Hello and welcome to our couch. I'm the Fairy Fuzz Mother and this is
Rad Red.
Okay guys, we're gonna get really personal here. We've decided that we're gonna sugar our arms. And just so you guys know, I've been waiting for this. Look at this hair. You can't really see it. You know why? Because
there's nothing there.
It's all there. I've actually been growing it for like 3 months. But because I've been sugaring for so long, the hair is so fine you can hardly see it. Let me see. Oh yeah,
the power
you can
of the
see
sugar.
It's in there. Okay. So today is the big day. We're going to answer all of your questions. We get a lot of questions. And sugaring is such a new practice when you're doing it yourself at home that we're going to have a lot of aha moments. We're going to also be chatting about some stuff.
We're going to talk about Latin Heritage Month since that's been going on. And we're also, like Salome said, we're going to answer some of your most frequently asked questions. And
let's get started.
We're super excited.
This is the first time that we're doing a live like this, so it's really exciting. Tell us what you think, okay? All right, so to get started, now the first step in the process.
Oh. Okay. Sorry guys, we lost connection real quick.
Poor internet connection, was that what it was?
Yeah,
all right.
It said the wireless connection.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay.
We're back. Okay, so I just want to walk you guys kind of through everything that we're doing. Now, Karina, when you sugar your arms, what's kind of like the first thing that you want to do?
I always cleanse the area with the clean slate, the micellar cleansing water. That way I'm protecting my skin, from any possible like bacterial infection or like entry.
Breakout.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because we're basically opening the pore. So you want to make sure that everything is super clean. So yeah, I always start with the clean slate.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, we both have really sensitive skin. I don't break out, so I actually don't start with a clean slate. I try to start with clean arms, but especially at this time of year where my skin is already so dry and like flaky, and I don't have like a lot of oil. But if you do have oily skin, you definitely want to start with with the cleansing water first and just get it clean. As Karina pointed out, we are opening up the pores by removing the hair from the follicle. So there's a chance of breakout and things like that, which we don't want. So you've already cleansed your arms.
Yes.
Now let's talk about your arms. What's going on here? There's no hair.
Okay, so that's because I've been sugaring. It literally changed my life. So once I started sugaring, like it's crazy because even when I feel the hair, I don't see it. Like you have to really, really be looking hard.
Yeah, because I can see the texture, but like other than like a few little ones here,
and then it's all random. Yeah, like not everything grew back. And not just that, but even sometimes, because exfoliating our skin, even when the hair doesn't grow back, it's nice to just sugar because my skin is so soft after. One of my favorite things about Glow Goop is the exfoliating properties. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you have a jar of sugar at home and you want to be joining us, please do. All right, let's get started. Now we have Red and I have very different nail situations.
A little bit more length.
Yeah, a little bit more length, but it's just, to demonstrate that we can do it either way. And then here we have the detox test. This is really step 2. Now, this becomes a little bit more important throughout the sugaring process while you're trying to keep the skin dry. Because as you start to remove the hair, the skin's natural response is to start perspiring. So we're gonna be putting on some powder. I think I'm gonna start with this arm and honestly, if I don't get quiet and start doing this, we're gonna be talking for a lot longer. And I'm sort of just like working the powder in to really allow it to like absorb any like sweat or any moisture that could be on the skin. And the other thing I really want to talk to you guys about is when you warm it. So I've put this in the microwave for 10 seconds. It is a cooler fall day, so I want it to be a little bit softer because it might even harden throughout the process. And after I've warmed it, I've actually put the lid back on. I actually put the lid, which has a seal in it, as well as the seal back on. And this was, I wanted to show you guys this because of one of the questions that comes up is, or one of the comments that we've seen a few times is, oh, like, why is my sugar so like gooey? It worked the first time, but then now it's like really gooey on top. And that's because the sugar loves moisture. It's like the best and worst thing for it. I'm gonna just turn that volume off for a second. But if you leave the lid off and you're in a steamy bathroom or you know, you just have more precipitation in the air, you are going to get a moisture buildup inside and then it won't work the way it is supposed to because you really want to maintain the consistency. Yeah. So I'll let you kind of get started. Okay. And how are you with your nails, like kind of working it out? Tell us.
So I kind of just go at an angle. There's times where I'll even use my knuckle to scoop it out. Either way works just fine, but just...
And the sugar is just soft enough. Is it soft enough?
Like, yeah, honestly, it's like the perfect texture. It's a little bit softer, but like she said, because it is a colder day, you want to start with a little bit of a softer consistency because it will harden.
And yeah, like in the summer, I might only warm it up for 5 seconds.
Or not at all sometimes.
Or not at all sometimes if we're in the middle of a heat wave. And
my lump.
That's her lump. And the size is the second most important thing. So I'm just going in like 2 fingers, really, really simple. Now you could see that I'm kind of struggling with it. Like it shouldn't be runny. Like I have to like wrestle with it
and twist kind a little bit.
Yeah, get it out. And you know, when you're doing like extremities, you want to have a larger lump to start with. You have smaller arms than me. So yours is a little bit smaller.
I guess I'm getting confident because I've noticed that the Glow Goop is so great that like a little bit goes such a long way.
That's true.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So us even like a lump this size will get you so much coverage.
Oh yeah, and I'm a mom of 2, so I just need to get as much done as quickly as possible. So that's why I start with like a little bit of a larger piece because then I cover more surface area. So now you've got it. Now I'm not even doing what I said I was going to do, which is put the lid back on. So I'm putting the lid back on.
I can feel it already adjusting to the air a bit.
Yeah. So we talked about texture. So how would you describe the texture?
It's a little bit softer than tree sap, but it's not runny.
Yeah. Like when I touch it, like, and I pull my fingers away, there shouldn't be strings of sugar kind of coming with it.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're ready, so this is how we start application. Where do you start?
Honestly, I start
kind
towards my elbow. Yeah, I start towards my elbow.
All right, show us. How do you do it?
So then I go against the direction of growth.
Yeah.
That's the second pull. And the 3 pulls are so important so that your Glow Goop sticks to the hair. And then I just flick it away.
It just comes right off.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, and I think let's talk about the triple pull technique. So first I hold it on for a second to the powdered area, and then I pull it against the direction of hair growth once, twice. Now let's talk about why that triple pull technique is so important.
You're such a professional. It looks so good when you do it.
I've been practicing.
Love it.
And then I just sort of grab the end from where I kind of finished my third pull, and I flick and I flick. And when you do the 3 flicks, it's like the accordion flick. And you can see that it's like got all the skin in there already, like dead skin cells.
You can even see the difference.
Yeah, there's like a, I don't know, can you guys see? Yeah, big difference in texture. And that's just from one pull. Now, another question we get a lot is like, can you sugar the same area? And the answer is absolutely. It's not like waxing where you can't go over the same area more than once, because wax really sticks to everything. And if you go over the same area twice, it's going to take your skin off. But this formula is designed to strictly adhere to dead skin cells. So if you're going over an area where you've removed most of the dead skin cells in the hair, it's not going to have anything to stick to. And
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about the Glow Goop, because my skin is so sensitive and it doesn't even react to the Glow Goop.
So we just went through PCOS Awareness Month, which was September. And I think there is a group of people that definitely have a lot more sensitivity. And that means fewer hair removal options. And some people who are affected by PCOS end up having really rapid hair regrowth, and sometimes the hair grows back thicker and faster. So sugaring has been a great option for hair removal. Now guys, look at the difference. Can you see? I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Like you can see, because you're right here. It's like a different color.
It's crazy, yeah. The
even
exfoliation.
here, like you could see the line sort of where like the skin is a little bit fresher, but around my wrist I'm seeing that there's still like, do you see there's still some of that flakiness left?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go over this area just kind of to like smooth out the skin and get rid of the dead skin cells. And like Red here pointed out, the exfoliation factor is really incredible, and that's why I love doing sugaring in the fall, just for maintaining that like summer glow. Yes. And you know, kind of carrying it through into the winter. I'm not really big on like covering myself with lotion every day, so this is a great alternative for that. Should we get into some of these questions?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to talk about the powder?
The powder, okay. So we get a lot of questions about whether the detox dust or the powder is absolutely necessary. And we always tell the Sugar Tribe that while you don't need to use the detox dust specifically, you do need a powder. And it should never be baby powder, because baby powder does contain moisturizing agents, and that is going to work against your Glow Goop. It's not going to allow your Glow Goop to properly stick, and it's going to affect the consistency. So just any type of talc-free powder is going to make sure that your Glow Goop is sticking to the hair and all the dead skin. Otherwise, it won't do its job.
And one of my favorite tips to share at beauty schools, because we have been kind of on a tour of the Bay Area's beauty schools lately, showing our fellow estheticians, I shouldn't say fellow because I'm not really an esthetician, our community of estheticians, how sugaring works. And one of my favorite things to share with them is, if you don't have the powder or you run out of powder, cornstarch is an amazing option in a pinch. Just remember that the purpose of the powder is really to keep the skin dry. So if you are using something that's like baby powder that's moisturizing, it's not really gonna do it. Do you know what I just realized? The sugar matches my shirt.
It does. The sugar is a fall vibe.
Yes, the sugar is a fall
love it.
vibe, guys. Okay, so I'm basically done. I've got one little patch here.
Should we kind of talk to them about how we're switching? Because I don't know if you do it. I know I do it. I switch directions a little bit with like the stubborn hair.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah, I do this too.
It's more when, like we said, because we've been sugaring for so long, so the hair, it takes so much longer to grow back. But when I come across like any stubborn hair, I'll just start to pull it in different directions, and then it'll come out. Because you're always going to get like one or two little pesky hairs.
Yeah, so generally the nice thing about sugar is that there's a lot of flexibility. Like you can really do it any direction. Generally, we say apply it against the direction of hair growth. So, and then when you flick it, you're removing the hair in the direction of the hair growth. So you're not like snapping the hair back and breaking it. So it's the opposite, exact opposite application as waxing. And you know, I wanted you guys to see this because it's starting to kind of get a little bit more sticky.
The changing colors.
Yeah, so as I'm sugaring, and I've done, I think my whole left forearm, and as you're sugaring, the heat from your skin actually softens the sugar, and you can see that it's actually applying a lot smoother. I'm stretching it a lot further, and look, my strips are getting really long. You know what we haven't talked about?
What?
The fact that we're using the same lump of sugar for the whole arm. Do you know how many applications you've done so far?
I've done at least 8.
At least.
At least 8. That's it, and it's still working. That's
the
thing.
Yeah, we're still going strong. So this is what makes us reusable. And guys, please, when I say reusable, it doesn't mean after you've sugared your arms, you put this back in the jar. Yes. That's disgusting.
We get a lot of confusion.
There's a lot of dead skin and hair in here. But after I'm done, I'm going to just throw it into the compost. So we're just reusing it. So I guess our studies have shown, and now I'm kind of moving on to the next arm. And that didn't take very long, even though it's like kind of like a slow and meditative process. It doesn't take super long to do. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep using the same lump. Now, if you're new to it, you might only use this like 8 times. But like, I sugared both of my legs a couple weeks ago, and I have really long legs, with 2 lumps about this size. Full legs, top to bottom. And so the more you practice, the better you get. So now I'm starting on this arm, and I'm just going with, just keep going with it. If anyone has any questions that you want us to answer live, please do. But another thing, we want to talk about the safety. We've already got a bunch of questions, so I'm going to keep going through it until I see a question pop up. But you talked about the powder. We talked about the triple pull technique. Does it hurt? Do we look like we're in pain right now?
Yeah, that's another. I have so many favorites when it comes to the Glow Goop, because I had never used traditional hard wax, so I was scared the first time I sugared, and I was so surprised. It's nothing. You feel it, but there's no pain. There's no pain.
Yeah. But let's, like, in all fairness, because we do have a lot of like really, really young customers, girls as young as 10 are using sugar. And if you are new to removing hair, the reality is the first time you remove any hair, you're going to feel a pinch. But after the first or second time, it should just feel like really no more abrasive than like maybe giving your arm a good scrub. And that actually brings me to another question that we've gotten, which is the bruising question. And this is really important if you're watching this and you're new to sugaring. See, this is getting a little bit more sticky. Yeah. But all I do is I sort of just like roll it, and then all the like stringy bits, I put it back on.
That's a really good tip. I've never tried that.
That
worked so well.
Yeah, because the sugar actually wants to stick together. So yeah, you just kind of roll it up into a ball. And then if you've got like sugar residue kind of hanging out, you dab it on it and it like just adheres to it. But about bruising. So if you're doing the technique properly, and I'm going to show it to you again in a second, you won't bruise. But this is sticking to your skin. So if you pull it up rather than over, you might have some bruising. Like I've seen it happen with some new people. So let's just talk about the correct technique here. So I'm gonna just show you guys here just so it's a little bit easier. So here, I'm pulling the hair, okay? I do my like triple pull. And about the triple pull, so if you don't do triple pull, you're gonna notice that you're not getting all the hair. You might get, like with 2 pulls, you might get 60 or 70% of the hair. With 1 pull, you might only get like 10% of the hair. But the sugar needs 3 pulls to really bind to that hair and dead skin. So now I've pulled it on 3 times. I'm grabbing the end, and because it's a longer piece, I'm gonna do the accordion pull. So I'm not gonna try to like rip it off in one go, okay? I'm gonna do 3 little accordion pulls. But the way I'm pulling it is I'm going kind of like flick back, and then I put my hand back on where there's, can you guys see? And then flick, and then back on and flick. So if I were to do this, like let's say I like pull it on like this, okay? And then if I lift it, if I try to rip it up by lifting it, that starts to kind of hurt. And you could see like my skin is being lifted. So we really want to flip it back like a full 180. And keep your hand kind of closer to the surface of the skin as well. And where should I go next? I already did this part. Does anyone get these weird little hairs around their elbow? Or is that just me?
It's happened randomly. Yeah.
They look so random. Like, where are you going from?
Super random.
I just did a long flick because I wanted you guys to see what's happening in here. There's hair, there's skin. It's gross. It's getting sticky. It's getting softer. Now, if you're brand new to it, when the edges start to fray, like they're kind of starting to do here, you might want to get rid of it. But if not, you can keep going. Like if you're kind of used to it, like I can literally do both of my full arms with just this. And
I'm always that person. I push the limits of the Glow Goop.
Yeah.
I will continue to use it.
Okay, see, like our colors are different because you're going faster than I am. I don't know if you guys can see, but hold it up nice and...
Oh,
so
yeah.
Hers is more caramel, or maybe mine's darker because I have more hair.
It's like... No, I think it's because mine is getting milkier.
Yeah, so as you use it, you'll notice that like basically between the dead skin, the powder, and just the texture of the sugar changing, it'll get whiter and whiter until it gets like kind of pasty and you're like, okay, it's time to get rid of it. So you're moving a little bit faster than I am because I talk a lot. Should we talk about the bikini area?
Yes.
We're not demonstrating that.
The bikini area. Okay, honestly, this sugar wax should be like the only thing people consider for their bikini area, I think.
Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've tried it. Have you you've ever tried?
Well, so I used to be like deadly afraid of bikini waxes. So I had never, I'd done it once and I was like terrified and never again.
With like traditional?
Yeah, with traditional. But then what happened was we started getting so many questions about sugaring the bikini area, as again, we've gotten it. So I'm like, okay, I have to step up to the plate and just like, I gotta do it. I gotta try it. And I was amazed. Like, it's so quick. It's so easy. There was like no pain. Like, I would like hold my breath those like that one, or maybe it was twice that I had like a traditional bikini wax. Like I would like clench my jaw and hold my breath and like I'd start sweating. It was so painful and so awful. And that, I'm happy to report, did not happen with sugar. And yeah, it's the same kind of application method. See, I'm getting like more sugar on my fingers. But like, I'm just gonna like take them off, little dab, dab, dab.
But I think like the really important thing about using the Glow Goop in the bikini area is the fact that it's non-toxic and it's such a sensitive area that like absorbs so much of whatever product is being placed, you know, there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If you're using like a traditional hard wax, that comes with a lot of toxins.
Well, it's chemical and it's plastic. And also one fun fact that I learned from a fellow founder is that the skin in the bikini area, much like the underarms, is 10 times more it absorbs 10 times more of whatever you put on it than any other part of the skin. So to your point, and I know you love clean beauty stuff.
Yes.
It is really important to, I guess, just know that like whatever you're putting on your underarms and bikini area is gonna get like way more absorbed. And this is so clean. Like I could eat this. I'm not gonna do that now because it's got gross hair in it. But I could have eaten it at the beginning. Sometimes my kids eat it. Not gonna lie. They'll ask me.
I've tasted it. It's pretty good. Has a nice sweet taste to it.
So I'm completely done with this arm. I'm just kind of going over it. Like if there's any there's a few little stragglers that didn't come off. And then you see that the texture is really changing here. And it's getting like more sticky, a little harder to like kind of pull off. Anyway.
And you know what's cool? It's like even on the days where I really, really push the limit and I keep reusing and reusing my Glow Goop, sometimes I'll get to the point where it just stays. Like I'm like, oh, okay, it's not coming off. Because I should have been done with it like 5 pulls ago. Yeah. But I get a wet towel and it's off. It's so easy to clean up.
Okay, so that's actually a really good tip. This is water soluble, so if you get it anywhere in your hair, on your fingers, on your furniture, whatever, you could just wash it off. It's water soluble. But another thing about when you're overusing it, because I've actually heard this from quite a few friends where they're like, I just like to push it to the limit and get like as much use. Do you see how it's getting more stringy, guys? This is where a normal person would stop using it and just put it in the compost, call it a day.
We're not normal.
But I don't know. I'm like tempted to keep
I'm not normal. I keep going. It will amaze you because, you know, it'll keep working.
It'll keep going. Yep. So, okay. So let's say you put it on and it's like melted onto your skin. Oh, I think I see a little hair here. It's melted on your skin and you're like, it's too soft. I can't get it off. And you're starting to freak out. So you could A, just wash it off. Or B, what I sometimes like to do if I'm like really determined to get that last strip off is I will just take like a small lump of like fresh sugar and I'll like work it into wherever it's stuck, and then that has enough body and hold to take the whole thing off.
I've tried that. It does work. It works really well. Yeah.
Yeah. How big should my lump be is another question that we get a lot. When you're starting out, start really small. Like I would say even half of what Karina has going on.
For better
Can you
control,
show them
right?
what's going on with your hands?
Okay, so my hands are getting super sticky.
No, show this side.
Oh,
show
yeah.
this side with your nail.
Because I'm not a normal person. But it's still working. And like Salome said, you just
dab it on.
and then it comes off.
Yeah.
It's a little trickier with the nails, but yeah.
It is, but I
It
wonder,
does come
can
off.
you get it off the nail? Because the nail is like...
It might be because there's a bigger piece right there.
Yeah, just...
But it comes off.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take our lumps.
I love this. This is such a hack. The rolling.
Right?
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah,
that's a life-changing.
It
sugar
really
hack.
likes to stay together.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just pile it on together. Okay, let's just take a minute and talk about Latin Heritage Month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna throw these out.
Okay.
Guys, look, when we're done, this has more hair in it. This has less hair in it, but it's kind of like...
And they're still nice and neat.
Yeah, they're still nice and neat if you keep rolling them. I'm gonna throw these out, and if you wanna demo how we clean off after,
Yes.
with your lovely towel.
Okay, so we have a bowl of water and then we have towels for our cleanup. So I'm just going to dip my towel into the bowl and wring it out. And it's amazing like how easy it is to clean. So Salome, of course, she's the fairy fuzz mother. You're perfect. You don't have any mess to clean up.
Oh,
You're
no,
great.
it still feels like a little
On your
sticky.
arm.
Yeah,
But like
so...
I pushed the limit with my Glow Goop, so I have it. But look how easy it is. You literally just clean, just water. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and
It's amazing.
if you got like big chunks like that, I would say like running it under warm water is so easy. Oh my gosh, look at these arms. Oh, so fresh. Guys, it had been so long. I don't know if you could see this, but it's very, very smooth.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're always going to have like a little bit of sugar residue. If you've got a big chunk, run it under warm water and it'll just melt off. If you have sensitive skin, like I do, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like a little bit of like redness here. There's one that looks like it's like becoming a hive. Cold water really just helps calm down the inflammation. And then for our last step, do you want to introduce it?
My second favorite, the Silk Slip Triple Hyaluronic Acid Serum. So amazing. And
guys, I use this on my face every morning. And I ain't no spring chicken, but look at that skin.
it looks good.
So we really wanted to create a product that is not like a heavy gunky lotion, because when you sugar or wax or do any kind of hair removal, you're opening up the pores, and what your skin really needs to kind of plump that texture back up is some hyaluronic acid. And it's ripe and ready to be moisturized. And then we've also added in a little bit of cotton leaf extract, which acts as a protective barrier. So what you don't want to do with freshly sugared, waxed arms, legs, skin, anywhere, is you don't want to be putting anything heavy or oily on it. Because as you know, most oils the molecules are large enough that it can really clog up those pores and maybe cause some irritation. But something like a serum like this, like we use all these beautiful serums on our face. Why should our body get like, you know, second class citizen treatment?
It's so true.
So that feels so good.
I know. And it doesn't feel heavy. Like that's the best part. But
yeah.
And having more of an effect than the products that feel heavy.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And it just gets absorbed right up. Like there's no shine, there's no stickiness. It's just like soft and it's there and it feels great. Now, since we're wrapping up Latin Heritage Month in a week or so, you know, I thought we should chat about it because you're Latina.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love it. And I think being Latina and growing up around Latina women, I think that's why I connected so strongly to sugaring, because it's such a self-care practice, because you really have to get your products together, you set aside the time, and it's not like, okay, because when I did shave, I would just be like, okay, dry shave real quick.
Yeah.
And it's not really a self-care practice.
And it's
just
not
like
satisfying.
It's
you
not.
Just, like, do it and you're like, oh.
And then it's like you get dry skin, you get razor bumps, you cut yourself because you're in a rush. With this, it's like meditative, like I told you. I feel relaxed right now. We got to relax. It's really about, I know like Latina women, they're really focused in about setting aside that time, whether it's doing their makeup, doing something like sugaring, but it's usually within self-care. So I think that's why I connected so strongly to sugaring.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how like every culture sort of has its own rituals, but also we all kind of have our own like ways that we approach beauty. And you know, like I remember when I was like, I have so much hair, get it off of me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was my aunts that would like, you know, they would show me the ways. Unfortunately, it wasn't the ways of the sugar. So it came with a few more pain points, but now I'm showing my aunts the way of the sugar.
Oh.
So it's kind of become circular.
Yeah.
And so like what you were telling me something earlier that I thought was so cute.
Oh, the fact that, so self-care, usually, okay, growing up, the big thing was makeup. Like getting your hair done, your makeup done is what usually took so long. And it took so long, but it was like an unspoken thing that the men in the house, regardless of however long their daughters or wives or moms, whatever, however long they were going to take, it was respected. It was just like, no, your mom's in the bathroom, she's getting ready.
Yeah.
Like, don't bother her, you know? Yeah. Just let her do her thing, let her finish. And most of the time, everyone would be in the living room waiting so that they can go to the quinceañera or whatever it was. And I just feel like that's so... It's just such a cute,
it's just a way of life.
Yeah. The respect, because it was like a self-care ritual. And it's just like, no, she feels good when she comes out and she's all done up and ready. So let her have that time.
Yeah, you know? And I think that's so important, like as a culture that, you know, we're respecting, like you said, that time for ourselves and each other to get ready, like take that time for ourselves and whatever that looks like.
Exactly.
And I clearly don't take enough time for my nails, but everyone has their thing.
Yeah. Everyone's thing is different. My new thing is sugaring.
Anything else you want to share about Latin Heritage Month, which is really about like, it's about acknowledging and recognizing Latin culture and and Latin contributions to our world and society. And we have so many amazing foods, art, rituals that we have taken from the Latin culture.
And I think it's big, it's like being, because we're in California. Latinos make up such a big population, and even when you're not Latina like me, I sometimes think that I am, just by virtue of being like, here. The things like, oh no, you have to have like, it's funny though, but San Francisco Mexican food, it's just like little things like that. No, like that is the best. and
Now,
stuff.
if you're not in California and you're not getting the amazing tacos, then Mexican food or other Latin food. Oh my God, Peruvian food is really good here.
Peruvian food is great as well. So it's just so much flavor.
Yeah, like just
So
make it a point to come out here and visit. And I think that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
I hope this has been helpful. If there's any questions that you had, you can always just write us at hello@sugarsugarwax.com. Like our Facebook page, check us out on Instagram and Pinterest. We're doing all kinds of fun little demos and everything there. Oh, yay, Gloria! Aw.
We're so happy you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that was super fun. And we're going to do this again, but we have to figure out from an angle of the camera perspective how we can do it and do a different body part.
Maybe legs.
Yeah, so send us your requests. Thank you for joining and have a great Thursday.
Happy sugaring.
And happy Latin Heritage Month. Bye, guys.